purchased the new Rokket Revolt Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure deck. This is going to be a review on it. I have not looked at this deck yet, and the reason it's unboxed already is because I failed a previous time and only got like that far through the deck before my phone ran out of storage. But to celebrate this event, I am wearing a party hat. Yay! Because my best guess is, since all the recent structure decks have, my best guess is this deck will soon run out of stock very quickly. Let's get started. Topologic Zeraboros. Basically, you can not special summon set any extra any extra monster zone it points to. So if it's down here, you can't special summon there. It gains 200 attack for each banished monster. If a monster is special summoned to a zone it points to, banish all cards on the field. If it was banished by its own effect, special summon it. And as I said before, it gains 200 attack for each one. Link 4, pretty good. Looks very nice. Borload Furious Dragon cards, 2 Dark Dragon monsters. This card required 2 effect monsters. 2 or more effects. So this card, you can target one monster you control and your opponent controls to destroy them. Then you can banish it from your graveyard, target one Dark Link monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but it can't activate its effects this turn. So that's pretty useful. Quad Boral Dragon. You can discard this. It's 2 dragon monsters, including a rocket monster. You can discard it, then target one face-up monster on the field. You cannot special summon Link 2 or lower monster from the extra deck for the rest of this turn. Also destroy the targeted monster. So if you discard target monster, and destroy it. If it was a Link monster, you can special summon any number of rocket monsters with different names from your hand or graveyard up to its Link rating. Now that is very useful. Rockets are all like special summoning from the graveyard, which is kind of annoying in my opinion. If I was on the other if I was the other person, and like they were just playing a rocket deck, I would be so annoyed because they just keep coming back and summoning Link monsters. When Link monster's effect is activated, it targets this face-up card. You can destroy it, look at your opponent's extra deck, banish 1 card from it. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed from the field and battle effect, its turn you can special summon a rocket monster from your deck. A lot of these are like that, so they're very similar. Rocket Tracer, this is a tuner monster. You can target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and then special summon a rocket monster from your deck except Rocket Tracer. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except dark monsters. That is quite good. Absoluter Dragon. If you control a rocket monster, you can special summon it. It's pretty good. If it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a rocket monster from your deck to your hand. Zero Day Blaster. You contribute a Dark Link monster, and you can target cards in the field equal to the Link rating and destroy them. Pretty good. Rocket Recharger. If a dark monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target one of those destroyed monsters. Special summon one dark monster from your graveyard with a different original name from the targeted monster. You can only use this effect of Rocket Recharger once per turn. While you control a dark monster, special summon. While you control a dark monster special summoned from the extra deck, your opponent monsters cannot target this card for attacks. Now that is very good. Flutter Rocket Dragon. When the Link's monster is activated that targets this card on the field, quick effect, you can destroy it, and then each player takes 2,000 damage. During the end phase, if it's in the graveyard because it was destroyed by field or battle or card effect, I'm guessing that also means it's owned, but because it's sent there, you can special summon a rocket monster from your deck. Now that is quite useful. Checksum Dragon. I think that's how you pronounce that. Opponent's monster declares an attack. You can special summon this card from your hand, then gain life points equal to half this card's defense. In an attack position, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Quite useful. Anis the Rocket. It's kind of like a needle. I get it. Dragon. It's Dragon effect. When a Link monster's effect is activated to target this face-up card in the field, you can destroy it and then make one face-up monster in the field on ability attack. Also, it has its effects negated during the end phase if this card is in your graveyard or destroyed by battle or field or card effects. So they can all use their own effects. You can special summon a rocket monster from your deck. this deck is easily probably one of the best ones. It's just summoning and summoning and summoning and overwhelming your opponent. Auto Rokket Dragon. When a Link monster's effect is activated and targets this face-up card in the field, you can destroy it, then send a spell trap from the field to the graveyard during the end phase. Basically, if it was in the graveyard, almost all of these, when they're in the graveyard and set the front by battle or card effect, they can special summon a Rokket from the deck. Same thing with this, except when it's destroyed, you can send one monster from the field to the graveyard. Shell Rokket Dragon. This is the same thing, and then you can destroy it and destroy one monster in the column that this was in. Destroy any number of monsters. Any monsters in adjacent zones. Now that's good. Again, same thing. Metal Rokket Dragon. You can destroy all card. You can destroy it, then all your opponent's cards in its column. Rokket Synchron. This is like a tuner for Rockets. Gateway Dragon. If your opponent controls a Link monster, you can special summon this card. You can only special summon it like that one per turn this way. Once per turn, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Dark Dragon from your hand. Defrag Dragon. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending one other monster from your other monster from your hand to the graveyard. Now that is quite useful in this deck. You can only special summon Defrag Dragon once per turn this way. If this card is in the graveyard, you can banish 3 monsters from your graveyard with the same name, except Defrag Dragon. Special summon this card. You can only use this effect of it once per turn. Background Dragon. If it's in the graveyard and you control no cards, you can special summon both this card and one level 4 or lower or dragon monster from the hand defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. Labradorite Dragon. It's a dragon and a tuner, so nothing really special about this card. Paladin of Felgrand. Now, I have heard of this card. It's quite useful. If it's normal or special summon, I can equip a level 7 or 8 dragon monster from my hand or deck to this card. This card is unaffected by other monsters' effects. When equipped with an equipped card, you contribute one monster, and this card then target a level 7 in your graveyard. Level 7 or 8 dragon monster in your graveyard, special summon. Dragon Knight of Creation. Its level increases by 4 during your opponent's turn only. When it destroys the monsters by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can send a level 7 or 8 dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. That's pretty useful. Keeper of the Shrine can be used as a tribute for 2 dragon monsters. World Chalice Guard Dragon. When its card or effect is activated and targets a linked monster, you can send it from your hand to the graveyard. Negate the activation if you do destroy the card. Banish it from your graveyard. Target one normal monster in your graveyard. Special summon it in defense position. Raiden Hand of the Light Sworn. Basically, it's a tuner. So it can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. If any Light Sworn monsters were sent to the graveyard by this effect, it gains 200 attack until the end of the turn. Boral Supplier. Now, that's actually kind of useless, because this is the only Light Sworn in the deck. Boral Supplier. Each standby phase, if you control a Boral Link monster, you can target one Rokket monster in your graveyard, special summon and destroy it in the end phase. Rapid Trigger. You can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck by destroying fusion materials listed on it from your field. But it is also unaffected by activated effects from any other monsters special summoned from the extra deck. Squib Draw. I just remember like a squib being from Harry Potter. That's all why that made me laugh. Target 1 Rokket monster you control, destroy it. If you do, draw 2 cards. That is really useful in this deck because it could special summon it again. Quick Launch. Special summon 1 Rokket monster from your deck, but it cannot attack. Also destroy it in the end phase. Boot Sector Launch. Now, this is a field spell. All Rokket monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. You can activate one of these effects. Special summon up to 2 Rokket monsters with different names from your hand defense position. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon Rokket monsters with different names in your graveyard defense position up to the difference. Boral Regenerator. Activate this card by targeting a Rokket monster in your graveyard. Special summon and equip it with this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Send the graveyard because the equipped monster is destroyed. You can draw a card. Dragon Shrine. Send a dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. If that monster in your graveyard is a dragon or monster, you can send 1 more dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. Ruins of the Divine Dragon Lords. If a monster is special summoned except from the graveyard, while you control level 7 or 8 dragon monster, negate that face-up special summon monster's effects until the end of the turn. Even once per turn you can send one other face-up card you control to the graveyard, special summon a Dragon Lord token. Cool. Turn the Dragon Lords, target with 7 or 8 dragon monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Cool. Polymerization. We all know what that does. Twin Twisters. Discard a card and then discard up to spell traps on the field, destroy them. Execute Protocols. During each battle phase, you can banish a Dark Link monster from your graveyard, then target one Boral monster you control. Till the end of this turn, it gains attack. You'll attack the monster banished to activate its effects. Red Reboot. When your opponent activates a trap card, negate the activation, and if you do, set that card face down, then they can set one other trap directly from their deck. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent cannot activate trap cards. You can activate this card from your hand by paying half your life points. Link Turret. Now, this is a good card. My brother had it before I saw this. When this card is activated, you play 4 counters on it. Each time you make take battle damage, place a counter on it. During your main phase 2, you can remove a counter from it, and then target one Rokket monster in your graveyard, special summon, but its effects are negated. Also, it's banished when it leaves the field. So you can do that multiple times in a turn, and just link summon like crazy. Mirror Force Launcher. Now, I saw this card on online, and it's pretty good. Once per turn during your main phase, you can discard a monster and then add a Mirror Force from your deck to your or graveyard to your hand. If that card is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can set this card from your graveyard and then Mirror Force from your hand, deck, or graveyard. They can be activated from this turn. Mirror Force. Magic Cylinder. Imperial Order. Negate all spell effects on the field once per turn during the standby phase. You must pay 700 life points. This is not optional, or this card is destroyed. Borload Dragon. 3 and up effect monsters. Your player can target this card with monster effects. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster on the field. It loses 500 attack and defense. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks an opponent's monster, you can place that opponent's monster in the zone that opponent's monster in the zone this card points to. And take control of it, but send it to the graveyard during the end phase. Actually, someone used this card against me today, and yeah, like our comic book store has a game night every Thursday. Someone used this card against me. I didn't know it was in this deck. Triple Burst Dragon, 2 plus monsters, except tokens. Once per turn during the damage step, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, you can negate the activation. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. During your main phase, except the turn this card was activated. Except the turn this card was special summoned. You can tribute this card, then target a link 2 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Then you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower dragon monster from your hand. This is the last card. Booster Dragon. 2 Rokket monsters. Once per turn, you can target one other face-up monster on the field. It gains 500 attack. Your opponent cannot activate cards and effects in response to this. If this link summon card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target one other dragon monster in your graveyard, special summon it. That is this. This is a really good. That's the end of this. This is a really good deck, I think. And if it doesn't sell out by 2 days from now, I definitely suggest you get it if you're into the game. If you're just starting out for the game it's definitely also a good suggestion. Yeah, you get where's that manual? But yeah, you get a manual on how to play the game and a game mat. So it's structured decks are just really good if you're starting out. And this one is amazing, probably in my opinion the best one yet. So if you want to get it, I definitely suggest you do. But yeah. This is a really good deck, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, leave a thumbs up and subscribe.